Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another video. And today we're gonna look at my March haul. So I'm gonna tell a little bit about what I've been reviewing and trying in the month of March, what I think about these products, and give you like a little bit more of a thorough review. So hopefully you'll enjoy that. I don't actually have that many products in front of me. I have a lot of palettes in front of me, but I actually haven't really bought much else because I have a lot of things that I'm kind of trying to use up, or like really large products and stuff like that. So I don't have that many things that I needed to buy, and I'm really trying to like slow down, but I have a lot of palettes, so it's not really going great. Anyways, hopefully you'll enjoy this video. In case you're new here, hi, my name's Sasha. I love indie makeup, I love colorful makeup, I love skincare, hair care, everything. So hopefully you'll find some of this interesting and you'll stick around. And when it comes to some kind of general information, I have a combination acne prone skin, curly hair, obviously very fine curly hair, and yeah, I love indie brands and fun colorful makeup. So that's kind of what you're gonna see. And I'm gonna start with the palette that I'm actually using today. Well, one of the palettes that I'm using today, and it's the Nomad Cosmetics Fairytale Europe palette. This one is gorgeous. I've already tried so many different looks with this one. I'm slowly gonna be posting them on Instagram. I've used a lot of these shades, even though the matte shades are kind of really neutral, and I usually, when I was trying this palette, I would try it with colorful matte from other palettes. But for eyeshadow palettes that have too pigmented of colors, I really enjoy this shade, the Alcázar de Segovia, because it's a very nice setting shade, and if I don't want the other pigments to go too far up on the lid, I would just kind of pretty much like set the upper part of my lid just to make sure that it's not gonna go too crazy. Love that you have kind of like a black. It's not a full-on like deep black. It's more like a charcoaly black. I really enjoy this brown. I think this one is really interesting color because it's kind of different. It's not something I would expect with these shades, and I've been really enjoying the Chateau de Chambord because this is a really nice brow powder for me. And I really enjoy all of these shades. These two, and then this pink one has been really nice as a highlighter all over the face as well. So you can use it under the brow bone, on your cheeks, like all of these things. Even the Prince Charming, I've tried that once, but you have to be really light with your hand. Otherwise you're gonna look slightly crazy, but softly it looks beautiful. So that one is great. I've used it like 9 times, I believe. Let me actually pull out my spreadsheet, but I believe it was 9 times. Yes. And most of these shades I've used 3 to 4 times. A couple of these mattes I've only used once or twice. I've used this one twice and this one only once, but that's just because I don't really focus on these shades a lot. And then from shimmers, most of them are 3 times. The only ones that are 2 times are this one, which is Belle, the Prince Charming, I believe it is. No, Fairy Godmother. I'm stupid. And then Little Mermaid and Magic Spell. This one. Otherwise, 3 or 4 times, and I really enjoyed this. I love that you have so many different colors. You have blue, purple, pink, gold, green, kind of green, sea foamy, kind of coral, then so many different things that you can do with this, and it is very like magical fairy tale, and this is their best shimmer formula that I've ever had from Nomad. It is genuinely stunning. Most of my shimmers on my lid are actually from Nomad. So this one here is the Sleeping Beauty, and then this one right next to it is the Fairy Godmother, and I also have the inner corner shade, the Snow White, over here. So genuinely stunning. I have nothing bad to say. This is actually a really nice formula, and I was very surprised that Nomad really stepped it up so much. So that is for this palette. Then from skincare, I'm gonna start with this Beauty of Joseon Glow Replenishing Rice Milk. As you can maybe see, I'm like halfway done. I'm not completely sure if I haven't mentioned it in the last month's haul, but I have a strange feeling that I didn't. So this one is gorgeous. It's kind of like very moisturizing, calming, and kind of skin barrier repairing toner, or kind of like milk, right? And it is wonderful. I really enjoyed this. Beauty of Joseon is a Korean brand, and I've been loving their products. This is, I still think that I like the ginseng something a little bit more than this, but it's just because I don't know, the ginseng is also slightly more like brightening, and this one doesn't brighten, and it does kind of the same thing, but it is still gorgeous, and my skin really enjoy like rice products. So that's for skincare. We're gonna get a little bit more skincare later. Then I have the Beauty Below palette by Blend Bunny Cosmetics. This one is very big. I've used it 10 times though, but I haven't been able to use every single shade 3 times because it is a 24 pan palette and it is quite dark, which if this was like in winter, I would actually really enjoy that. But now that we're getting into spring, I kind of want to wear pastels more. So I would wear like 2 light shades and then only 1 shade from this palette to like deepen up the look or create like a wink or something. So for me, right now it's a little bit harder to use, but I found some really nice shades. First of all, the green matte, wonderful, but obviously like it's kind of given. I love this blue because it's kind of like a denim grayish blue. Really enjoyed that one, like thoroughly. Love these 2 greens. There's like turquoisey shimmer and then this really vibrant goldy green. So pretty, and also the shade Immerse. Very beautiful, kind of periwinkle to blue shimmer shade. There are a lot of like really dark shimmer shades that you can't really differentiate them that well on your lid, especially if you wear something lighter in the first half and then darker in the second half. Like it's not gonna really make that much of a difference. And for the dark shimmers, you kind of have to use your finger, because for me brushes didn't work. Even with glitter primer, even with setting spray, like it just doesn't really want to pick it up, so you have to use your fingers. And the problem with that is, first of all, your finger is messy and these slightly stain, and because they're dark it like stains more than lighter shimmers, obviously. So that is like slightly annoying with this formula, but otherwise the rest of the shades are absolutely wonderful and I really enjoy them. I also love the shade Mesmerizing because it's kind of like soft green to kind of like neutral taupey brown. Very pretty. And I love that these are magnetic, and not only I can switch them with my Linds palette by Blend Bunny, but I also found out that the Avatar The Last Airbender collection from Little Cosmetics, which has magnetic bands, is the exact same size as this. And obviously there are a couple like light shimmers and light mattes, so I could actually switch that up with these small palettes as well in the future, and that just makes me so happy. So yeah, for me right now it's more like a companion palette, but eventually I think I'm gonna be able to use it on its own when it's gonna get a little bit colder. But right now it's finally like nice outside and warm and sunny, and I just want to wear like colorful, fun, cute looks. But trust me, the like beginning of September, we're back, baby, and like this is exactly what I'm gonna wear. Yeah, it's just right now I'm in a little bit of a different mood. And I don't know if I mentioned it, but this shade Abduction I've been actually using a lot on my brows as well. I think I've used it like, let me find it, 7 times. Yeah, 7 times. But I've used every single shade at least twice, a couple of them even 3 to 4 times. The ones that I've used the most, apart from the shade Abduction, I also used the shade Siren Shriek, this like hot pink matte one, 4 times. Then the Lalan Slay also 4 times, and then a couple of them 3 times. So I've actually used a lot of them, and I've tried a lot of them with different colors. I'm really enjoying the formula. Like it is really nice formula. What I will say though, a couple of these mattes feel slightly grittier than other Blend Bunny pads. Now I only have the Lindt and the Robert, like the Divination palette. But some of these feel slightly like gritty. So that's everything for the Beauty Below palette. And I'm really happy that, oh sorry, I think my camera moved. I'm really happy that Blend Bunny started doing these like magnetic palettes. Also, what I noticed, the text on the front is coming off because it's just like, not sprayed, how is it called? It's kind of that like soft layer of like, I don't even know if this is like silicone or how do they do that, but yeah, it's coming off slowly but surely. Then I have my V Cosmetics Midsummer Moons palette. This one I've only used, I think 5 times. Yeah, 5 times. So it's not too much. But I'm fairly certain about this, and that's because it's a very, like, the formula doesn't change. All of the shades feel the same, they act the same. So this is how it looks like. It doesn't have a mirror, but the mattes are quite okay. They're like standard mattes. This one, the like turquoisey one, is very, it's not too pigmented and you have to layer it quite a bit. Love these big shimmers, the one in these big pans, because these are so sparkly and so pretty. I personally don't really enjoy these two because it's more like that satin formula that I'm not really into, but I kind of was expecting that a little bit. But the big ones are wonderful. I really enjoy these, and I just love the color story of this palette. I love the little text you have over here, and it's a really good palette. I think the shades that I've used the most is the central shade, then the black one. I've used this kind of seafoamy green, turquoise, purple a lot. This yellow also, even as a face highlighter, the same as this central one. Really pretty, and it's just a palette that I can use for most of my looks. Like, I can kind of, you know, always find at least one shade that I could use for a look. So I think it's gonna be a really nice traveling palette. One thing that I'm not completely sure how it's gonna work, I don't know if you can see it, but the palette, like, even if you like really push the sides together, like, there's always a little slit here, and I don't know how that's gonna affect the longevity of this palette, because obviously it is supposed to be like airtight, and like there's, you know, the shadows are supposed to be protected. So that's the only thing I'm kind of slightly not really like worried about, but you know, it's a thought that crossed my mind a couple times. Then I've been using this got2b dry shampoo instant freshen up extra fresh dry shampoo. This is a lot of words. I don't actually really use it as dry shampoo, but I use it the second full day. So like, I usually wash my hair in the evening, and I have the first day completely like with nothing, with no products in. I just use my scalp toner, and then the next day I would use this in my roots, but also all over kind of the hair, just to give it like a little bit of a grit, a little bit of texture, because my hair are like very fine and there's really no texture naturally happening, even though they do like to be very curly. So to prevent them from like completely going flat and being really weird, this one is really nice. It's like the mini version. It has 100 milliliters, and it's not bad. It just smells really bad. Like, it is very like typical hairspray type of scent or like smell. So that is slightly annoying for me, and I do sometimes wonder if I'm not gonna completely like suffocate myself, but I'm alive still, so it's fine. Then from Fantasy Cosmetica, I've been trying the Monk palette, which is this beautiful yellow palette. I actually bought it because a couple of years ago I had the Naked Honey palette by Urban Decay, and at first I was really in love with their color story, but eventually, as I started using indie brands, I just realized that the Urban Decay formula isn't that incredible. But lately I've just been really missing the color story, not the shades particularly or the formula, but just the color story. And when I saw this from Fantasy Cosmetica, I knew I needed this one, because I never think of buying yellow palettes, but I use yellow so often. I use it with greens, with purples, with pinks, with blues, like with every color. I always want to do yellow in the inner corner. So I just felt like it would be really stupid of me to not have a small one, and this one has magnetic bands, so it's even better for me. I really like these. What I will say, this yellow and this orange, what I actually really love about them is that they are a lot more pastel and light on the eyes than they are in the pan. Maybe it has something to do with the, first of all, the layout and also the background color. Um, I think it makes it look a little bit darker, because I think if you took them out, maybe they would look slightly lighter and more pastel-y. But I really like this color story. I think it kind of has anything you could need to create a yellow look, and I really like the addition of these two marbled shades, which are actually really beautiful. They're more like an iridescent formula. This shade Flurry, I've actually had it yesterday as a highlighter on my face. So gorgeous. It doesn't look this dark on the face or on the eyes either, unless you're actually gonna like build it up. The same with the shade Flow. It's so pretty, and this formula is just incredible. This is my second second palette from Fantasy Cosmetica, and I'm in love with their formula, and I need every single palette from them from now on, because the mattes are so smooth and buttery, creamy, wonderful, gorgeous, and the shimmers are so sparkly, but no, they don't weight anything, they don't fall out, they don't have any fallout, they don't crease, they don't feel weird on your eyes, they like layer wonderfully. They're just beautiful, beautiful, and using them is such a delight. I could write odes about this. Like, this is so wonderful. Then last skincare product is the Ordinary Natural Moisturizing Factors and Beta Glucan. I never know how to pronounce that. I never know how to pronounce it in Czech either. I'm always confused about this word. But this is just like a very basic jelly-like hydrating moisturizer, which I really like. I've been using it mainly throughout the day, underneath my sunscreen, because it's been like getting pretty hot, but also my skin still like is adjusting to the different weather. So I do need that. And sometimes I would be using this at night as well, but that kind of depends. Some days my skin feels a little bit not like dry, but kind of tired. So I do have to use something else. Sometimes it feels normal, so I use this, and a couple times I've been having like pretty oily skin, so I would have to use like a little bit more mattifying niacinamide heavy moisturizer. But what I love about this, it's like a very basic thing. If you have combination skin, this is gonna be perfect for you all year round. And it's a dry absorbing formula, so if you're like me and you want to put on a moisturizer and then immediately go and put on a sunscreen or go to sleep, this is wonderful. Like, this is very lazy girl approved. And it's small bottle, like you're getting 30 milliliters, which is not that little. Like, it's still gonna last you a while, but it's small, it's tiny, it's like really easy to store, it's really easy to travel with. I did travel with this one, and it's just really cute, and I love the formula. So that one is absolutely wonderful. And then last product and last palette of this bunch is the V Cosmetics Manifestation palette. This one owns my heart. It's mostly shimmer palette with 3 matte shades, and I actually really love these shades. Like, these 3 are so pretty. I love them together. I love them on their own. I've used this yellow like 7 times already. It's just been stunning shade to use. I love the shimmers, especially these 4 shimmers in the middle. They're so sparkly, but like wet looking and smooth and very soft. And then you have these 3. These 2 are kind of grittier, so I do have to use either my finger or I have to spray my brush and use NYX glitter primer, otherwise there's gonna be so much fallout. But then you have the I Am Love, and this is a beautiful multi-chrome holochrome. Love that one. And I don't remember how much I've used this palette, but I think it was like, yeah, 9 times. And this is like pretty small palette. It has shimmers mainly. I've used all of the shades 3 times. Only the shade I Believe in Me I've used once, and I'm Worthy I've used twice. Oh, and I trust myself. I've also used that one twice. But it is absolutely wonderful formula, and this is such a difference to the Midsummer's Moons. Like, this is so much nicer. Both the mattes, like, they're actually like, I would compare them to Fantasy Cosmetica. Like, they feel really nice, and the shimmers are also gorgeous. Kind of also like they have this like really smooth feel to them, kind of like I'm used to with a couple of my indie brands like Fantasy Cosmetica, but also I'm trying to couple formulas from Mika are similar to this. And yeah, I can't remember any other brand like on the top of my from the top of my head that would be like this, but it is like, I don't know how well you can see that, but this is so sparkly and beautiful. And also, V Cosmetics is cruelty free, vegan, like, and I feel like there was one more product that I was gonna talk about. Oh, I've been trying this Glisten Cosmetics Blooming Blush. I've already had one shade, I think it was like Peach Me or something, because I thought it's gonna be a little bit more orange, and it actually isn't, and it barely shows up on me. It's a very light shade. But then I also bought the Orangey Glad, which is very orange. I've used that like 4 times, I think. 3 times. Let me swatch it for you. This one is very, very orange. So you have just like a little dot and then run. But this one is so pretty. Let me show you. Do you see the orange? This is like paint. But it's beautiful. And actually I was able to get a affiliate code with Glisten. So I'll link it down below. If you wanna shop from them. You can also get Blend Bunny there as well if you're from Europe. And they have really nice prices, and obviously you can use codes there, which for example from Monolith you can't really, or the codes are only 5%, and this one should be 20% if I remember that correctly. So I will link that down below, and you can definitely feel free to use that. It would really help me out. But yeah, these blooming blushes are really nice. They're like very soft, very blendable and spreadable formula, so you really only need tiny bit, and they're quite pigmented. So yeah, definitely careful with these, but this is such a nice product. I love that you can see the product inside. First of all, so that you know how much you have, but also that you can really clearly see the color, because sometimes you have compartments where unless you actually like unscrew it, you have no clue what shade there is, and you can't remember just from the shade name. So yeah, this one, oh, so pretty. And I kind of want to try it as a base for eyeshadows, because there's like, it's very like thick cream, but then it dries down and sets itself. And like, I don't know if you can see, but like this is so pigmented, so I feel like I kind of want to try this. And I also know that Glisten has like these paints, or like, you know, the eyeshadow primers that are like colorful paints, and I would really want to try that, maybe at least like in white and maybe a couple like pastels. So I think I'm gonna make an order maybe next week actually. And I'm gonna try a couple of these because I would be really interested in the formula. But anyways, that's everything for today. And if you have a favorite Glisten product, let me know down below. So with that being said, have a wonderful, wonderful day, and I'll be super happy to see you tomorrow with another video. So bye!